Hi, my name is Sherilyn Lucena. I am from Bloemfontein, Free State. I have given a platform and opportunity to discuss a certain topic called cutting new cloth, how doubled our turnover and created new job. But before anything else, let me just give you a few background of myself. Um, I am a bachelor degree of science in business administration way back in Philippines at Philippine School of Business Administration. I was born on 7th of October 1971. As I've said, I am a CEO and founder of Tehilaa Golden Bag. Currently, we are manufacturing two branches, um, one here at Tabanchu, and the other branch stand at Salosisha Industrial Area. I have given a opportunity to discuss a certain important issues, but I think um, I will be willing to share some ideas which most of businesses entrepreneurs would agree to me and some other maybe will not. But however, the following information are based on my personal experiences only for the past 30 years of clothing industry. But before I um, started, I would like to tell you a few background of where I've been before I started the business. Before I started this, I have given privilege to work in the clothing factory from 1991 as a production supervisor and eventually promoted to be a factory manager and become assistant to the CEO. That particular year, our company exporting jeans to United States. There was a time that the company decided not to continue exporting jeans anymore due to the certain issue of dollar rand fluctuations. The company since then closed down, and that time I decided to open a small business clothing. But this time I do not want to choose the same import business as I know how difficult and fragile that route was. So so I've been having a lots of the business now is standing for uh, um, 10 15 years now, but before that for the past 15 years as well, to 20 I had a lots of experience with regards to clothing. um, I've prepared 5 points to consider on how to start, plan, manage, and even choose the style you would like to engage that will give your business that last. Number one, choose your business that qualifies you. Choosing what kind of business you would like to open is a difficult decision, especially if the business is not appropriate to you, or you have totally no knowledge nor experience at all time for that particular business that you want to dive in. You need to choose the business that you are passionate with and not forcing yourself to do so. Do not force yourself to do so. Just tag yourself that you are a businesswoman or a businessman. The meaning of business itself from my side is means to create an idea that you can be able to produce and sell for a good profit. Making a living. It may be a product, a service, and anything that makes you profitable. When you choose to engage in a business, you also choose to prepare yourself to be a worker, a servant, and at the same time, a boss to your own business. Your business needs your time, your, not your workers, not the other people, but your time, your skills, your passion, your dreams, your idea, your whole thing, and the most important is you as a whole. The business needs you. Having a business requires not only your cash flow capital but needs your special attendance in every inch and means of your business, especially if the business is just newly established. Of course, we need to hire people whom can they able to help us to establish a good workforce, but they need to present yourself in every time. Number two, clothing business. Since that we are talking about clothing, um, I would like to suggest when you open a clothing business, starting a clothing business is not as easy as eating a pizza in a restaurant. Starting a clothing business is a labor intensive business which required your patience, absorbing most of your time, and requiring lots of effort. Hands on training, especially to the beginners, skilled enough in all sewing techniques, good interaction, and methods on how to deal with your workforce. There are many aspects and expertise that we need to invest on the clothing businesses. Remember, we are not dealing with a bank staff or a white collar job or a degree holder people. We are engaged on those workers who most of the time, most of them are the age people who do not have high expertise or high background of education. The only thing that they know is to run the industrial sewing machines. That's the skills that they know. And to the young people, we are based on the place or rural area that are more on disadvantaged people, that they have no opportunity. Most of them have no opportunity or such things that they can go to the higher education, and they tends to look for a job just for the money. Choosing to be an entrepreneur is drawn to be ready for a daily pressure of work. Daily pressure of work from the start until the end. You will consider yourself the captain of the ark. Your decision carries a very crucial and sensitive part of daily output of the business. In this point, you need to have a clear and progressive mindset and a winning attitude in all your fight to be a successful business icon. Number three, set up your plan ahead. You need to set a goal on looking at your sales, your income forecast. If you can arrange orders for at least 3 to 6 months, orders prior to your delivery, then you have a good ground that can be able for your plan, your production planning, your buying of materials, preparations, any kind of trims on your garments. At least you have a well set up forecast, well planned ahead. Number four, increase your selling power. Be creative with your design. But of course, design is versus your price that you offer to your customer. Remember that we wear important. Our clothes that we wear are very important to us as an individual, and the same as the food that we need every day. Get a clear picture of a target customer to offer with your products. Check the needs of your client, your customer, and see where you can offer them your products. Their needs, the buyer's needs, the buyer's planning, the buyer's dream, the whatever things, whatever styling that your buyer needs. You need to look at and study for that. You have to consider your price versus your style that you may offer at the end of the day. Number five, consider your average markup profit. Consider your markup profit. With continuous supply of orders at the same time. Never choose a style that can stagnate your production. Never choose the style that your people or you yourself, you may not even produce even one piece. Never choose the style that are difficult. If it is difficult to you, it must also difficult to your workers. Choose the style that are easy and complexity. Consider the style that guarantees your order for the rest of the year. In this case, you can forecast your budget, your capital, and your whole planning for the year. You may be well set up to run your production's daily output. Easy. You can, because that is their everyday's styling, you don't need to teach every day. That at the end of the day there will be no production because your supervisor, your line manager have nothing to do but to teach and teach and teach. At the end of the day there's no production output, but instead there's a lots of risk of rejects. Your workers simply know exactly their daily duties and may increase productivity if they know the job from the start, if they keep on doing that, if their style is a continuous same style, if their style is just very basic and no need to teach them every day of their life, there will be a continuous flow of production which can easily manage than on changing style most of the time. So one of the fifth tip that I would like to share from you guys, do not take a big plate of cake that you may not able to eat them all, but rather this cake may choke you and it might not be good to you, to your health, to the income, and not only to yourself but to the people that you are handling and taking care with. Now, as we go on the main topic of cutting new cloth and double our turnover. From the time that COVID spread and became a pandemic, majority of the businesses operations slowed down and some are even closed down. But in clothing industry, we can able to do something else to continue our business if we know how to think a new strategy that can be able to assist your business not to slow down and of course not to close down by means of cutting new cloth. In other words, cutting new style, thinking of new strategy, thinking for ahead, thinking for something that you can create your skills, combine your skills, your selling power. That the meaning of cutting new clothes. New strategy, new design, new thinking, and new power of selling. In this pandemic year, we can also consider clothing manufacturer as one of the producers of the essential needs. By using the method of cutting new style, this is means that producing, cutting and producing cloth masks, cutting and producing new facial buffs, new hospital bed sheets, new hospital gowns, and many more. You may not only settled in one style. You use your machineries, your resources, your knowledge, your skills, everything for you to stand up and cut new and offer them to your buyer. Remember, clothing industry is also essential company, essential business in this pandemic. Creativity combining with your sales power will create new income instead of closing down. Your turnover will not only double but also create more jobs by producing bulk quantity of orders which are very essential to the current pandemic. Another way of doubling your turnover is the method that for me it works very well in my own business. So that's why I'm saying from the beginning that whatever I'm saying here, it's depending on how, where they stand, what kind of clothing industry, what kind of styling that you are making, how many machinists, how skillful is your people are, and everything. But this is another way of doubling your turnover. This is based on my business and it works with my business too. Choosing your style. When you choose the style that you need to produce, you should choose the basic style which offers more quantity and less operations. If I am going to be offered a basic t-shirts, a basic leggings, a basic trophy vest, tank, everything, all are basic. But they will supply me with every mount input of production and giving me a 6 months order for the summer core and giving me a 6 months order for the winter core rather than, and the price wise, quantity versus price, the price are, yes, because it's a basic, of course, it's much more cheaper. I'd rather choose this basic, which I know exactly that I have a future. I can plan ahead. And I am making sure that my people has job for the rest of their life, 24 hours, 24 the whole year. And I know that they will going to have enough supply. Rather than choosing an order which is like a seasonal style, like jackets, which consists of so many informations, so many styles. Okay, that is my that is for myself, right? When you choose the style, do not choose the style which is difficult and demand more details operations, which cost you much and giving you more responsibility, more possibility of high rejects. More numbers of operations are not always good enough. Good choice, irrespective the price offered is very good. Sometimes we are blinded with the price of the garment, but we don't consider if your existing workers can able to manufacture without engaging with more rejects than a good quantity or a good quality. The outcome will be less production, high rejects percentage, and the worst is you may not know if the buyer will stay placing again with you for the next orders. If once off and they will never have a chance to repeat again because number one, they will um you will create a lots of if your people does not know how to handle this styling, then the tendency is the percentage of the rejects are much more higher. And remember, sewing is easy, sewing is fast, but unpicking, removing it and unpicking it is very difficult, and it's very slow and a lot of job to do, and there is a possibility that you might be damaged the garment. Things to remember: running a sewing machine is fast and easy, this is what I'm talking about, but unpicking the garments takes time. Also, you need to consider the volume versus the price. A correct method of combining orders with huge volume that your business produce clothing continuously that will last for 6 months and or so-called core items is an intelligent choice. A core items are those items which are basic design that are easily to manufacture and will produce daily production output at the end of the day. Yes, the price is not as much of those very expensive design. However, it will give your business assurance of your daily production based on the volume that will feed your business on the daily basis. In other words, you are confident that tomorrow you will still have another orders, the next day, the next month, and the next year. If your orders are matched with the skills of workers, of machinists that you have, and if you yourself you can able to handle that kind of style. For me, I'd rather choose to take the basic one, which I know that my people can handle it easily without giving me a big headache. We have so-called winter core, which will last for 6 months, which demand input deliveries of long sleeve t-shirts, a basic long sleeve t-shirts, basic long length pants, leggings, hoodie, short sleeve, long sleeve, those kind of hoodie, those kind of stuff that we are using it for cold. Summer core items like short sleeve t-shirts, tanks, strappy, vest, crop leggings, even leggings, a long length leggings. We can also, summer, most of the people are also using that. Short pants, etc., which also fast selling items, basic style, which will last for another 6 months. So if you have a 6 months for the winter, while you are manufacturing the winter, then you and your buyer can start negotiating the price for the summer while you are on the production of winter, right? These There are businesses who do not want to have a cheap product made in bulk quantity, which given them a sort of big responsibility with a small income. They rather choose an expensive item like jackets, formal gowns, etc., with small quantity but quiet, expensive price to quote to the customer. The order seems small but expensive, which from them are ideal. That is for them. That's why I'm saying that is not my style. But there are such people like that they want a small quantity with a huge amount. Those probably business are used to that style. It will always depends on the skilled person and substantial enough of skilled machinists that they have. The only hassle is jackets can only use for a cold weather season only, and or gowns that can only use for some occasions. The question is, can you able to plan a 6 to 12 months forecast business ahead for your orders once that season are over? Most consumer bought their jackets once in a while or if these are old enough to replace. However, for my opinion, and I apply this on my own business, I choose to think of the business which giving me a continuous security of orders for the rest of the season, irrespective winter or summer season. Consumers tends to buy basic t-shirts, basic vests, strappy, etc. in all weather for their everyday use. Of even some of the consumers just buy for color collections of their favorite basic t-shirts. Most people needs basic clothing to go on their daily routine. We also have more young people, students, adults, and even aged people who are using basic clothing in their daily activities. Imagine that most of the people are wearing gowns, even though if they're going to market, even though they're going to school, even though they'll just go to, even at home, um, people are wearing gowns and people are wearing jackets, even though on the top of um, 37 degrees. Uh, this is what I'm trying to say, that I choose to manufacture basic because I know majority of the consumers use basic clothing. For me, I don't want to be tagging as one day millionaire, which blinded to the expensive orders but few, and you will never sure if the buyer will still placing orders with the same styling. I don't think so. You see, I don't want to be tagged as one day millionaire. I rather choose to cut a new cloth in a basic design, but continue supply which I can preserve and forecast turnover or even double it by doubling the capacity of my production workforce. In this case, I can double my turnover and create more jobs. Thank you. This is Sherilyn Lucena from Tehilaa Golden Bag.